What's swinging, gang? This your boy Autolust, and if you've been wondering how to control or how to add XHP flash to your M5, M6, X6M, X5M, pretty much any BMW that can, receive the transmission flash from XHP, we finna do it today. So let's ride. All right, first and foremost, you're gonna need a way to connect the software to the TCU, which is the same thing as the ECU, but for the transmission control unit, engine control unit. So this is what I chose to use. Man, the sticker's coming off a little bit. That's weird. That's super weird. But I chose to use the MHD tuning box, and I'll put a link on where you can get this box from. And once you connect it, they're going to ask you for a Wi-Fi password, and you can see the password is, let me get it to focus. Okay, there we go. The password is right on the back. It says MHD_ENET. So this is going to be the first thing you guys are going to need, and you're going to plug this into the OBD2 port. So let's get to doing that. Well, at least I'm gonna act like I'm doing it. So once you, let me get a little bit more light here. There we go. So once you plug this into the OBD2 port, which is right here, you're just gonna plug that in. And then once that's plugged in, I'm gonna show you exactly what you do next. First things first, when you get the MHD dongle plugged into the OBD2 port, you're gonna wanna open your Wi-Fi settings right up here in the top of your phone for Android. I think it's at the bottom for iPhone. I'm not an iPhone fan, so I wouldn't know. But once you see that, you're gonna see the MHD Wi-Fi box there. You're gonna click on that, and you're gonna put in the password for MHD. You know, that password that's on the back of the dongle. Then you're gonna wanna open your XHP flash tool, which I'm gonna open now. Let it load up here. It takes a little minute to load up. Not a long time, but also always about a minute. So let it load up. And then you're gonna see your car. Once you connect to it, they're gonna ask you to connect. You see down here at the bottom, it says connect. You're gonna wanna connect to the dongle. And the easiest way to do that is to leave the Wi-Fi on, the Wi-Fi and the phone data, because you can't flash the car with the phone data on at all. You're gonna wanna flash the car in airplane mode with only the Wi-Fi on to stay connected to the MHD dongle. Okay, so once you get the car connected, or the transmission connected to the dongle, it's gonna pop up, and here you see my car and my engine. Here I'm gonna click on it. It has my engine, which is hold on a minute. Okay, I guess it's downloading some new maps here, so that's great. Downloading some updates. All right. Okay, so you see my engine size, which is a S63B44 T2, and that engine is only for you guys that think that the X6M, X5M has the same engine as the M5 and the M6. It doesn't, and this is how you can tell from the engine code. And you can see down on current map, it says stage 3 because I'm already flashed on stage 3. And up at the top it says flash license and map pack. You click on flash license. And I already bought the flash license from the website, because you want to buy the flash license directly from XHP website. You cannot buy the license or the map pack from the app. You have to buy it from the physical website on a desktop computer. All right, now that we have that. and you click on map packs, and it says I already redeemed my map pack code. Once you buy the flash license and map pack, they're gonna send you out a number, a buy number for both. They're gonna email them to you to the email you use to register, and once you go back on the app, they're gonna ask you for those codes for the map pack and the flash license, and you type those codes in, and that's how they know that you're eligible with your license and your map pack. Okay, down at the bottom on the right hand side, you see a little lightning bolt. You're gonna click that lightning bolt, and you can click flash. I'm gonna show you flash. Well, they got diagnostics too, for transmission diagnostic codes and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they read engine codes too. I don't use it. I don't need it, because I have a handheld computer that I bought that reads BMW engine and transmission codes, as well as registers batteries and all of that other crap. I'm gonna do a review on that soon, so if you guys want to buy that, you can, but we're talking about the transmission right now. So I'm gonna click flash right here at the top. It's the red circle, and then you have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. You click stage 1, it just says it's remove torque limiters, so it's pretty much the stock tune, but with all the torque limiters removed, so you're getting the maximum amount of torque available out of the transmission, but shift points and everything else are stopped. Okay, stage 2, torque limiters removed. It updated the shift maps in DriveLogic 1, and more aggressive shifting through DriveLogic 1 through 3, and sharper launch control. And if you guys don't know what DriveLogic 1 through 3 is, it's those little, it's down by your gear shifter. It's those little squares when you can press it and it goes up 1, 2, 3. That's what the DriveLogic is, the aggressiveness of the shifts on the transmission. All right, so we're gonna go back out. And stage 3, I never ran stage 1 or stage 2. I went straight to stage 3 right off bat. And if you have a tuned vehicle, stage 1, stage 2, you definitely want to run a transmission flash. There's no reason to be running a engine flash if you're not gonna flash the transmission, because the power got to go through the transmission to get to the wheels. Your engine isn't directly connected to the wheels, so you got a weak point there. So definitely flash the transmission. And stage 3 is everything here. It has okay, hold on a minute. Lower launch control target RPM to avoid hitting rev limiter onto a car. Okay, so they did update it a little bit, but stage 3, it has everything stage 2 has, but it also has a higher max RPM and launch control mode, and a true manual enabled for DriveLogic 1 and 2, so it'll shift like a true manual, not a dual clutch, a true manual, like a true manual, like an old school Mustang, whatever speed, you know, a true manual. So you're gonna get out of there, and then you have flash settings. Backup is just to back your factory flash up, which is gonna do before you flash any map anyways. It's gonna automatically ask you to back up your factory map, and you're gonna press yes. But they already have the newest version software for your transmission, whether you back the map up or not. XHP has all the newest versions of the transmission flashes for any BMW that they have software support for. But in flash settings, okay, this is where it gets kind of tricky, you know, for people who don't know, because you can just flash stage 3 and you have this, you have everything what it says it comes with, but that's not all what's available for the transmission. So this is where it gets tricky. You're gonna hit flash settings, and when you hit flash settings, new feature, import, export. You can now easily share your settings with you. Okay, well that's new. I'm getting new stuff everywhere. Okay, now this is where you can customize it. You can customize your launch control, shift map editor, which I'm not touching because that's not what I do. You know, I have the guys who's tuning my car when the turbos get on, mess with that stuff. You can run max RPM. You can use stock shift maps. You can take off in second gear, which I have it on, but when you click on it, it's off. So unless it's in S mode. And throttle blip mode, that's pretty much rev matching. Gear display, no matter if you're in sport or regular transmission. Torque limits per gear, so if you want less torque in first gear so you don't spin as much off the line, you can drop the torque down. But the way my torque limits are, it's pretty good. You see, first gear it's only 590, and then it jumps right up to 885 right after that. So that's good enough for me. And switch off sport mode in cruise, meaning that if you're in sport mode and you put it in cruise control, it's not going to go into 8th gear and cruising in the highest gear for better gas mileage. It's going to stay stuck in, I think, 6th or 7th gear. Now when you turn that on, when you're in sport mode, you can cruise into 7th gear. You can cruise in the 8th gear and still be, in balls out power mode. So I don't have that on yet, because if I'm going to be on the highway cruising, I'm going to be in regular mode or efficient mode. So there's no reason for me to have that on. And this is what's most important. The valet mode is okay. We tried it on the M6, and it does take a while for you to build up speed and power, but the valet mode is not really necessary, especially if you letting your kids use the car or whatever, because they can still build up to those speeds, just not as quickly as it could with the valet mode off. But using valet mode for someone who's valeting your car for a restaurant and the parking lot is right around the corner or something, that's what it'd be good for, because he just can't dog the car out and do burnouts and stuff, because it take way too long for the power band for the car to get up in power with the valet mode on. But if you're trying to use valet mode to, I guess, let your son or your daughter hold a car for the weekend, they can still wreck the car out, because it's still going to get up in power. It's just going to take a little while to get there. But this is the most important, the active line pressure bump. And you want this on. And it says for very high power applications, we recommend activating the line pressure bump. This will further increase transmission line pressure by approximately 15% to increase torque capacity of the transmission. The line pressure is dependent on actual torque from the engine, and this option is only active in high torque situations, not normal driving or cruising. Only activate if needed. When the clutch slips in 6th gear on the 8 HP, which I have, or in 4th gear on the 6 HP, which obviously that's definitely an older ZF transmission, and I have that on, because I have a high power. My car's around 700 up, north of 700 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower, and it makes a buttload of torque. So I definitely don't want to end up tearing the transmission up when I can increase the line pressure to stop clutch slip. Even though I don't have a dual clutch transmission or a manual transmission, every transmission have clutches in it. No matter which transmission you got, it has clutches in it. Friction plates. A friction plate and a clutch is the same thing. A clutch plate and a friction plate is the same thing. I apologize. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, anybody, before you get it, because it took me a while to figure this stuff out on my own, with a little bit of searching through the internet. And I just wanted you guys to know how to, get around this and stuff like that. And it's pretty much going to walk you through when it's time to flash. The first flash is going to take about 3 minutes. Any other flash takes about a half a minute. It's going to be super fast once the TCU is unlocked. But you want to make sure that you keep the driver's side seatbelt plugged in. That'll stop the DMEs from going to sleep and modules from going to sleep, which is going to mess things up. So you definitely want to do that. And they're going to tell you, they're going to give you this little checklist to perform before you press flash. Make sure that you perform everything on that checklist before you press flash, and you're going to flash without a problem. And don't try to flash with a dead or a weak battery either. So as long as you got a good battery, no weak or old, or battery with a bad cell or dead cell, you guys should be fine. But I hope you guys found this video very informative. And if you have the tune engine, by all means tune the transmission. You get a lot more power out of the car, you get a lot more power to the ground, and you know it'll be a lot safer. So that'll be the end of this video. Like, share, and subscribe, and Autolust out.